All right, we are week 3 into this challenge. So one thing that some of you might be curious about is, when do we adjust macros, or when do we adjust any part of the plan? For those of you that are tracking macros, this is more directed towards you, but it can be really helpful information even if you're not. When it comes to adjusting some part of the plan, and in this case we're going to talk about the nutrition side, so the macros side, there are a few things that we want to make sure are happening and or were happening up to this point. So we are at the beginning of week 3, so theoretically we've had 2 whole weeks in. We are going to look at adherence, and we are going to look at the data in terms of how it does or doesn't align with our goals. So what I mean by that, a couple questions to ask yourself first. Did you track and adhere? And what I mean by that is, did you track, obvious there, and did you track to the degree that we need to? In this case, for anyone kind of really focused on a specific body composition goal, particularly like gaining or losing weight, I'm looking for, at the minimum, 80% adherent. Ideally, in a dedicated time for this, we're looking at 90 plus. So did you adhere? If the answer is yes, then we move on to what the data is or isn't saying. And so how do we figure that out? Well, for most cases, this comes from weigh-ins and or like body circumference measurements. So if you've been tracking, but you haven't been weighing in or any of that, probably want to stick with the plan longer and start weighing in. If you've been weighing in, we want to also look at how frequently we've been weighing in. If it's only been like once a week, that's probably not a great set of data. It's 2 points at this point to figure out what's going on or if it's working. So if that's the case, and if that's you, I highly recommend weighing in more frequently. Like, it doesn't have to be every other day, but think every 2 days at like the minimum. I like every other day, and if you're okay with it, every day is even better because that gives us more data points to look at. So if you have been weighing in, and you have been weighing in frequently, as in at least every 2 days, then we look at what that data is saying. Is the data in line with what our goals are? And what does that mean? So if we're trying to lose weight, is the trend in your body weight going down? If so, we want to look at how fast and the rate of that and decide where to go from there. Generally speaking, we're looking at 0.5 to 1% changes in body weight in a deficit. So that's going to be anywhere from like a half a pound to, in some cases, to, depends on your body weight a little bit more. If it's in line with that rate, we stay where we're at. That is to make sure that we're doing this in the most healthful way we can. If it is slower than that, then we can probably pull the calories down a little bit more and adjust from there. If it is faster than that, we probably want to give you a little bit more to eat, just to make sure that we are holding on to as much muscle mass as we can. And then you can take this same idea for if you are trying to gain weight. So if it's happening at a really fast pace, we probably want to pull calories down. If it's being really, really, really slow, we probably want to pull it up, but we're trying to maintain as much lean mass as we can. So to summarize this video, if you are currently wondering what to do about your macros or when to change things with the macros or any of that, we want to look at your adherence. So how much did you stick to the plan? Ideally 90% plus. And then we want to look at what is the data telling us. And first things first, if you are not weighing in relatively frequently or doing body circumference measurements relatively frequently for this, we want to start there and keep everything the same, because we need to see what the actual data is saying, and we want more data to figure out how accurate that's going to be. So that's what we're going to do. If hopefully that helps figure out what you need to do, reach out with any questions.